One question that shakes. What happens when two stars who seemed unshakable choose to walk away from the stage that has held them? What happens when a secret, long whispered among fans, suddenly knocks on the door of the real world? With heavy steps, with words that are not easy to say. Imagine two names we've watched shine on screen, now standing at a crossroads. Freedom or the comfort of safety? The choice to open old wounds or to close a chapter that once almost destroyed them. This is not mere gossip. This is a story about courage, about risk, and about the possibility of a confession that can change everything. Hello, drama lovers. Welcome back to the K-Pop World Channel. Today we follow a tale that feels like a movie scene, yet is rooted in reality. A story about Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Two names that for so long have been more than identities on a screen, but symbols for millions of hearts. From the first moment this news surfaced, step by step it grew into a narrative we cannot ignore. I will lay it out for you, carefully and with great curiosity. First, how did it all start? On an otherwise ordinary night, some photos and short videos spread across the web, capturing two figures leaving an office building late at night. No official label, no formal announcement. Just shadows, just movement, just whispers, but those whispers spread fast. Netizens asked, was the meeting merely professional or something bigger? A plan they had kept tightly under wraps? The chronology we can assemble very carefully begins with a string of closed-door meetings. Some observers reported seeing gatherings in Beijing, then in Shanghai. Sources unwilling to be named spoke of intense discussions about creative freedom, contract constraints, and a desire to tell stories without filters. There were also rumors of talks with foreign producers reportedly interested in a collaborative project. All of this is presented as fragments of a story not yet officially confirmed. So, remember, these are collections of reports, collections of possibilities. Then came the most shocking rumor: plans to make an independent film, said to be inspired by the real struggles of artists, about love, betrayal, ruined reputations, and the journey to recovery. Imagine two actors who have felt the public storm, attempting to reframe those wounds, not as sensational spectacle, but as narrative, a mirror. Yet again, this is circulating news. It is not an official statement. We must be careful before turning whispers into accusations. Why is this dangerous? Because producing independently means sacrificing the safety nets that have long protected them. Major production houses, trained PR teams, contractual networks that provide structure. Without those, there are risks, rejection, market boycotts, even pressure from those who feel threatened. But behind these risks lies another motive: freedom. Freedom to choose scripts, to choose how to tell stories, to place emotional truth above manufactured narrative. Amid all this, a confession surfaced. If true, it would not just be a headline, but a declaration of wounds and repair. In this script, let us hear the claim version of that confession from several sources. We are tired of playing roles we did not choose. We want to tell stories with our own voices without fear. Those words are delivered in broken tones, with long pauses, as if weighing each letter before releasing it into the air. We are not seeking controversy. We are seeking honesty, the voice continued. Listen, pause, listen again. Simple words, yet each sentence carries weight. However, ethics demand that we remember. Such a confession has not been officially verified. There is a large difference between an asserted quote and provable fact. Therefore, this script chooses to present that confession as a claim, a circulating voice, not as absolute truth. Why stress this? Because when real people are involved, reputations and lives can be affected far more than by a headline. How did the public react? Here the drama turns into a scene of solidarity. Hashtags flooded timelines, with support roaring in equal measure. Whatever they are planning, we will always stand by them, wrote one loyal fan. Do not be afraid, another comment urged. There are also skeptical voices, those demanding proof, those worried it might be a PR maneuver. Among waves of support and doubt, one thing remains real: Fans react not only from admiration, but because they know this is about real lives behind the screen. Behind that screen lies a more tender confession about lonely nights spent in anxiety, about messages sent to each other during the darkest hours, about silent prayers that became the only support left. "Are you still there?" one message asked. "Always," replied the other. Small images, but full of meaning. This is not gossip. This is humanity, often forgotten when the camera lights go out. What does this move mean? Professionally, personally, or both? Perhaps the answer is not black and white. Perhaps this step is a mixture of artistic need and the need for personal protection. Maybe they're trying to build a safer space, not only for themselves, but for future generations of artists. A production house that can host authentic stories, untethered, would be no small dream. Yet creating it means confronting an entrenched system. Let us reflect on another question. Do we, as viewers, have the right to know every detail of their private lives? Or is the most humane support to give them space to choose when to open up? Here appears an ethical dilemma between reasonable curiosity and the right to privacy. We may ask, we may speculate, but we must also refrain from making assumptions that harm. Returning to their plans, how did the industry react? Sources mention talks with several Asia-Europe producers. Interest exists for musical and film collaborations across continents. Imagine these two icons bringing Chinese narratives to the global stage, not merely as stars, but as brave storytellers. Of course, this is a major opportunity, but also a test. How to preserve nuance, how to balance market expectations, how to remain faithful to their personal voices. Beyond grand projections, there is the simplest, most touching thing: fan loyalty. When controversy hits, those voices of support shine like beacons. "We will always be your wings," a fan wrote again. Not just words, this is a commitment. A commitment that gives them the courage to step forward to open new possibilities. But we must also speak of reputational risk, of potential negative impact on careers, of pressure that might come from competitors, or even from a handful of parties who feel threatened. All of this is real, but it should not make us forget. The two people at the center of this story are human. They have families, friends, dreams, fears. They deserve to be treated with empathy, even and especially when the news drives us towards sensationalism. Before closing, let us hear once more, in the imagined script, a statement that caps the string of confessions. If we choose this path, it is not to seek sympathy, not to chase sensation. We only want honesty. Honesty about our art. Honesty about ourselves. Pause. If you want to be with us, join us. If not, we understand. We will still walk on. Those words feel like an invitation, not an apology. A choice that is firm and fragile. Now, it is time to end this story with an invitation, not just to watch, but to think. What does support mean for an artist? Are we ready to give them the space to shape their own narrative, even when that narrative differs from our expectations? I invite you, drama lovers, to discuss in the comments. How do you feel about this move? Do you see it as a brave act or something risky? Write your thoughts below, with empathy, with an open mind. Remember, behind every headline, there is a human being who feels. Let us be viewers who demand quality, but also give compassion. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, give a like, subscribe, and share, or just leave a sincere comment. See you in the next episode, where we will continue to explore stories that reveal the human side of celebrity life. Good night, and take care of your heart.